Grace and peace to you, friends. I want to talk to you today about inviting God into our struggles. Most of the time we're praying, God, get me out of these challenges, get me out of this trouble at work, get me out of these financial setbacks. There's nothing wrong with those prayers. But before we ask God to get us out of those situations, we have to ask God to get into those situations. Sometimes the miracle is not in getting out, it is in what God is going to do in that situations. Instead of just praying, God, get me out, why don't we start praying, God, come into this hospital room while I take care of the treatment. Come into this trouble at work where the people are not fair. Come into this anxiety that I'm trying to deal with. What's more powerful than God bringing you out is when God comes in and begins to change things. He comes in and gives you favor despite who is trying to push you down. He comes in and gives you strength that you can't even explain. And He gives you grace to outlast what should stop you. If you're only focused on God bringing you out, then you are going to be disappointed, because God does not do things at our own timetable. Sometimes it's taking longer than we thought, but when you ask God to come in, you can be at rest. God, I know you're right here with me. You are ordering my steps at the right time. You will get me where I'm supposed to be. You don't have to fight everything or live upset or can't sleep at night. That only happens when you're only focused on getting out. God is waiting to come in when you ask Him in. You are saying, God, don't just change the circumstances, change me. Help me not just go through these situations, help me to grow through it. Help me to learn, increase my faith, let my character come up higher. If God delivered us out of everything instantly, we would never reach our highest potential. God works in the trouble. He works in the uncomfortable situations. And sometimes God is not bringing you out yet because He wants the odds to be against you in a bigger way. So when He brings you out, it will be the greater miracle. Now, the voices whisper, God doesn't even hear your prayers. That's why nothing is happening. The truth is, God is setting you up to show out in your life. When He brings you out, no one will be able to deny that His favor is on you. God said in Isaiah chapter 43 verse 2, when you go through the waters, I will be with you. When you go through the rivers, they will not overwhelm you. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned. It's interesting that God did not say, I will keep you out of every fire. You won't have to face any floods. No. He said the challenges will come. There will be adversities, things that we don't understand. But the whole key to this verse is when He said, I will be with you in the fire, in the flood, in the famine. Are you trying to get out of something that God is going to take you through? Are you fighting the process? Everything will change if you just invite God into the fire. He's already promised that He will be with you. Maybe He's just waiting for your invitation. The right attitude is, God, I know that you are going to bring me out, but in the meantime, I'm asking you to come into this challenge in my health. Come into this loss I'm experiencing. Come into this depression that is trying to stop me. When you invite God into your difficult times, you feel Him breathing in your direction, empowering you, enabling you, favoring you. David said in Psalm number 23 verse 4, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil. Why? Because you are with me. When you know God is with you, when you have invited Him into your situations, you will have a smile in the middle of difficulty. You will have a song of praise in the prison like a Paul and Silas. You won't be complaining about the troubles, worried about when it's going to be work out. You will be at peace in the midst of storm. And the reason David didn't live afraid is even though he went through valleys, shadows, and adversities, but he understood this principle to invite God into his trouble. He wasn't just waiting to get out. He knew that God was right there with him. If you're only praying, God, get me out, you will be discouraged until it changes. So start praying from today. Lord, I want to invite you into my difficulties, into my struggles. Help me to be peaceful knowing that you are at work for me. God has a great plans and purposes in your life. Don't ever give up on God and on yourself. God bless you.